Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another EBTV sports presentation. Tonight from East Brunswick's J. Doyle Field, it is high school football as East Brunswick hosts Bishop R in a GMC game. Hi, Jimmy Allinder being joined by Charlie King. Charlie, I was reading an account of tonight's game in the morning newspaper, East Brunswick 2-3 versus Bishop R 2-2, a game that has playoff implications?
Playoff implications. If the Bears can even their record 3-3, they next week have South Brunswick and then Perth Amboy. After that, 5-3 gets you into the playoffs.
Wow. Who would have thought we'd been talking about playoffs? Here's the deal. In Central Jersey qualification, it used to be some years ago there would be 4 teams involved.
Correct.
Now there's 8. So really, if you can get to a 500 record, you have an excellent chance of getting in. Can East Brunswick do it?
I think they can. Tonight will tell the tale. East Brunswick is ready. I talked to Coach Borden earlier. Nice win last week on the ground in the rain up in Woodbridge. I had 100 and some yards, I think about 110 yards from Chris Riccio, who didn't start the first game here of the season, but has come on and has given the Bears a spark on offense. So we look for the Bears to run the ball.
All right, and they're going to be running the ball against a Bishop R defense that returns 8 of 11 starters from a year ago. I had a chance to see him play against Monroe Township 3 weeks ago, a team that runs an option offense, and Bishop R did a really excellent job of shutting Monroe down. A lot of problems can be presented tonight, but we've got to look at the other side of the ball, too, for Bishop R, Charlie. They have a young quarterback, we understand, and a good top receiver. Talk about Bishop R's offense.
Well, Justin Taylor is a left-handed quarterback. Now, I say left-handed because that creates a few problems. Maybe our viewers out there don't fully realize how that changes the game. Has a tendency to do everything in that direction, and the ball has a different spin. The whole business. He's a young quarterback, but he's ranked 8th in the county in passing. I think he's got 460 yards or something like that. And they have an excellent receiver, a super receiver, Matt Powell. And he's 3rd in the county in receptions. So they're going to be tough on that offensive side. So the Bears are missing number 11, Alex Danilenko. And I saw him before the game, before we came upstairs here, and he was kind of moping a little bit. I said, what's the matter? He has a thigh bruise, and Sean O'Keefe, number 98, will be replacing him this evening. But I don't know if the Bears have anybody that really can replace Danilenko. So that's going to put a little more pressure on the Bears, and with that passing offense of Bishop R, it should be interesting.
And to add to the interest tonight is homecoming. So we're going to have those festivities as well. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with the kickoff right after this. Okay, we're back here at J. Doyle Field, where East Brunswick is about to take on Bishop R in a very important game for both clubs. East Brunswick, off its victory against Woodbridge, finds itself now with an opportunity to get some power points by beating a 2-2 Bishop R team, which is positioned as a parochial Group 3 team. As we mentioned on top, the Trojans have a rather versatile offense. They like to throw the ball a lot, and a veteran defense. Now, Bishop R won the toss but deferred to East Brunswick, to the second half, I should say, so East Brunswick elected to receive the ball.
Right. So the Bears will have the ball first.
Right. And it'd be interesting to see how East Brunswick moves the ball against the Trojans, members of the GMC White Division. East Brunswick in the Red Division, so you have an interdivisional matchup here tonight. All right, kicking off.
Well,
go ahead, Charlie. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say kicking off 33.
Oh, you have them. Okay.
Unfortunately, is
not listed.
Not listed in the program.
When has that happened before, huh?
I don't know. All right, we got packed deep
not
for
a problem.
East Brunswick here.
Yeah.
Looks like Robinson and Mineta back deep for the Bears.
All right, we're about to get underway here. Chilly night, but no wind to speak of, so that should not be a factor. Sorry, we don't know who the kicker is, but it is fielded, and a snow. Yeah, he slipped down. That was number 83 for East Brunswick.
That's Danny Fessel.
who we expect to call a lot tonight.
I would think so. Sophomore tight end for the Bears. That was he caught that ball on about the 32-yard line, so a very short putt or a very short kickoff from Bishop Bar.
And that is where we will begin tonight. Quarterbacking for East Brunswick, as he has this season, Mark Maritsky. He being number one over top of the ball. And there's the give, up the middle and stuffed.
Looked like Manette on it. Yep.
Okay.
Maybe a gain of about a half a yard. That's it.
Bobby Manette on the carry. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, and we mentioned that this is a veteran defense for Bishop Bar. Again, East Brunswick with the ball. We're just underway here at J. Doyle Field. No score. Give is up the middle. It was an opening for a second.
Riccio.
Right. And the tackle on that was by number 54, Morgan Labello. You're going to see him a lot tonight, Charlie.
Yeah.
He's very active. He's very quick. So we'll give him, what, 3 yards on that play?
About 3 yards.
Okay.
It'll bring up a 3rd and about 7, I guess. Maybe 6.5.
Ball resting on the 38-yard line of East Brunswick.
Bears need to get to midfield. Just that ball's got to touch the stripe just about for that first down.
And we got a slant pattern.
Minette in motion. That's for Robinson.
And he faked everybody out. Touchdown, East Brunswick. What do you think of that play, Mr. K?
62 yards. That's what I think. That was nice. Gave that fake to Minetta coming around and like he was going to run a sweep to the right, and they countered back with Robinson, number 23. That's Brian Robinson for 62 yards for the Bears. Bears get on the board first here with just a little over a minute and a half gone, Jim.
10:21, the clock registers. And I don't think Bishop Bar was expecting that.
No, I don't think they were. Patrick Bean on the kick for...
And he puts it through. And East Brunswick out to a 7-0 lead, just like that.
And that was out of the hold of Mark Mariski. I'm going to tell you about how important that hold is. I saw a game last Saturday down in the Orange Bowl, and the hold was kind of important, as well as the snap.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
I was thinking about you, though.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
I was suffering.
I
I was happy most of the day, but right at the end there wasn't the best. The big start, great start for the Bears, Jim.
Absolutely. And the defense now, we'll see what it can do.
Well, they made us look good, too. We said the Bears were going to run the ball and pound it at them, so not much pounding. 2 plays for 3 yards, and then 62 yards for Robinson. Nice handoff, good counter. Nice blocking up front by that East Brunswick offensive line, anchored by number 62 and Captain Alan Groschholz. They don't go anywhere without those guys. Correa, number 76. McCarthy, number 72, and also a captain, Brian Campbell. And Cameron Arshad, number 54.
Okay, Fessel is going to kick off for East Brunswick. It's a grounder. Takes a good bounce. They haven't picked it up yet. Now they do. Who's that, number 2? That's Cody Hemraw.
That's 23, Robinson on the tackle.
He was down there. He's the one that just scored that touchdown for East Brunswick. So all in all, an excellent kick for the Bears. Puts the Trojans back on their 18-yard line, that's where they're going to start.
Jim, you cannot believe how hard that is to field that ball when it's bouncing like that. It is very, very difficult. And the kick is ball's at the 19-yard line for Bishop Bar. So good distance and non-returnable.
All right, so this is the sophomore quarterback, Justin Taylor. We're going to watch number 13 for Bishop Bar. He's their primary receiver, Matt Poe. Demeter and Hamraw. Who's got it?
Look like number 2 to me.
Okay, so
Ty.
that's Cody Hamraw with the ball. He's been the workhorse back for them. And a gain of about 4 yards, we'll say. Makes it 2nd and 6.
Stopped by number 3, Frank Camella. Came up from his safety position.
See Alexander at the middle linebacker position.
Right, 44.
Robinson actually playing a linebacker too. Huh?
Right, 23 plays that linebacker position.
You need
inside.
speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Taylor gives it up the middle. That's going to be
like 30.
Was that 34 Demeter?
34 Demeter.
Okay, and he's about a yard, maybe 2 yards shy of a first down.
Alexander, one of the tacklers for the Bears. Maybe bring up a 3rd and 1. Maybe less than 1.
Nine minutes left to go in the first quarter of play. East Brunswick 7, Bishop Bar. This is their first opportunity with the ball. And
number 2.
Hamraw, I don't know. He's close.
Got to be close.
Depends on where they're going to mark the ball.
They mark a first down.
Okay. Hamraw was initially stopped.
All right, he was hitting the backfield,
Right.
brought down at the 30-yard line there by the outside of the Bears defense. They had him, as you indicated, they did make contact with him in the backfield, unable to bring him down, however.
So the Trojans, known for throwing the ball, 3 straight running plays.
Well, they try to lull you to sleep here, probably, and
Well, I'm looking at the matchups here. I want to see where Poe is positioned. Guarded, he's guarded by number 31, which is Jeff Heilman. Keep an eye on that matchup. Give is again up the middle.
another run.
That was
Robinson on the tackle.
Right. Hamraw.
Hamraw again.
Good yardage on that play. Got about 7 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 3 for Bishop Bar.
Looks like it's on the 37-yard line.
You got 2 split to the top. Taylor, again, Hamraw with the ball. He has a nice hole. Cuts
Nice
to the
tackle.
outside, but brought down by who? Robinson.
Looks like 23, Robinson again. That's the 3rd or 4th tackle he's made to go along with that 62-yard touchdown run.
And they're going to give him another first down, Charlie.
Yep.
That's the 2nd in a row for the Trojans.
Bears got to tighten up here.
My take on this.
They're ready. It looks to me, Jim, like they're looking for the pass. You can see Camilla is the safety is what 17, 18 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Manette is back here about the same, 10 yards back.
All right, you have Austin and Poe split to the near side. Up the middle, that's Hamraw. Gets good yardage on the play. Charlie, you're right. They're looking for the pass, and that opens some seams up in the middle.
Spread us out. They're spreading the Bears out. That was number 77, Mike Cassini, on the tackle for the Bears.
6 yards on that play by Hamraw. He's carried the ball about 5 or 6 times already. And we are down to 6:30 left to go in this first quarter of play. East Brunswick 7 and Bishop Bar nothing.
Again, splitting them out. Double wides.
And you got Kieran, a real tall receiver, at the bottom of your screen.
Again,
Give up the middle to Demeter. Gets good yards again. Tackle was made by the safety.
Frank Camella, number 3 on the tackle into East Brunswick territory, Jim, at the 42-yard line.
So that is the 3rd first down for Bishop Bar. This drive, maybe it's the 4th one. This drive started on their own 18-yard line. Now they're into East Brunswick's territory.
Run, run, run.
Haven't thrown the ball once. And until East Brunswick adjusts, I don't think the Trojans are going to feel compelled to throw the ball.
High formation, double wide to the left.
give this to Hamrah. He tip-taps his way, and this time they got him.
That was 68, Brian Campbell on the stop. The right defensive end for East Brunswick. Nice play. Came across the maybe a gain of half a yard or so.
So we'll make it 2nd and 9. Well, let's say 2nd and 10.
We'll see how the passing attack, if they're going to get started with that at this point. We keep waiting for that explosion here.
Again, you got this tall receiver, number 86, Ryan Kieran, 6'4", 180. Now you got the pass play. Good defensive pressure.
And intercepted.
And it is intercepted, do they say? Yes.
Yes.
Mark Maritsky, who normally is the quarterback, made. Charlie.
That was Aaron Horace who had his arm around. I knew you were looking for that.
Yeah, he was the one that really
84,
caused the pressure.
Who gets a start this evening at the defensive end position for the Bears and comes up with a big play right away. He had his arms wrapped around Justin Taylor, and Taylor tried to throw the ball anyway, and right into the hands of Mariski, who made a nice interception, a nice catch of that ball.
All right, it's down on the 33-yard line of East Brunswick. First turnover of the game. Charlie, I was going to say before, the longer you hold on to that ball, the more bad things to happen.
That's true.
Okay, Maritsky, give it up the middle to number 37. We got a flag on the play.
That looks like a hold, Jim.
Chris Riccio.
Riccio up the middle for about 17, 18 yards, but I think it's going to come back.
And that is the call, holding against East Brunswick.
That official that stands right behind the defensive line, that's his responsibility to look for that holding, and he came right out real quick. We just
Charlie, despite the penalty, you have to be impressed with how successfully East Brunswick has run the ball in this early going.
Yeah, that was pretty much straight up the middle. A little action to the right, but primarily right up the gut.
So with the penalty, that'll bring it back 10 yards. Make it first and about 20. 4:37 left to go in the first quarter. East Brunswick with a 7-0 lead.
If our viewers are wondering, they don't give any numbers in high school, the same as in college.
Maritsky holds on to it, gets through, but maybe 2 or 3 yards. Lasso by number 61, that was.
61 is Patrick Healy for Bishop R on the stop.
Gain of about 3, make it 2nd and 16.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
We're at the East Brunswick's at their own 28-yard line.
Each team has had the ball. East Brunswick scored. Bishop R moved the ball, and then a interception. The drive was over, so East Brunswick is now taking over. Mark Maritsky pitches to the right.
Mineta.
Bobby Mineta, and he's brought down. Charlie, I don't know what kind of success the Bears are going to have running to the outside. Bishop R is a very, very quick team. That tackle is made by number 7, Fred Austin. He's quick on that outside.
Yeah, they have a lot of quickness over there. 36, Ian Waring was also out there to help on that stop. I agree with you, Jim. I think the Bears have had success up the middle. I don't know why you wouldn't continue to go pound at that middle. We're down to third down
Yeah,
here.
now it's 3rd and about 17, so a likely passing situation. You got 3 split to the left for the Bears. Maritsky
Counter.
Slant to Robinson, and he gets maybe a yard. So a punting situation for the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears were being a little cautious there, which probably is a good idea. Early in the game, you don't want to take a chance. Get one intercepted and have them run it back.
All right, so Austin is deep for Bishop R. I'm sorry. Yes.
7, that's right, Austin.
He and Matt Poe.
Right.
Kicking is who, Charlie?
Number 25 for the Bears.
File.
Doug File.
Right. Good kicker for East Brunswick. Good snap, gets it off. Looks like he's going to run. Nope, calls a fair catch. Austin calls a fair catch on about the 40, 7-yard line of Bishop Bar, and that is where the Trojans will begin. Down to 2:08 left of first quarter.
Very quick quarter.
Yep.
And
Well, we had what, one pass? And
one
that was
pass
the
was
interception?
intercepted,
Right.
yes, that's the only one. You run that ball, that clock keeps moving. We'll see what happens here if they go back to the run, which they were very successful with, Bishop Bar.
Well, the key for the Trojans is going to give Taylor some time to throw the ball. He's got the receivers. That is Hamra. Gets
up the middle.
A few yards.
He got about 3, I think. Stopped by Aaron Horace again, 84. This is his first start tonight.
Is it?
Yes.
6'1", 188. Sophomore.
Sophomore.
Okay.
Another one of those sophomores. They got wides to both sides, I formation.
Give is up the middle to Hamra.
Draw.
Nice draw play. Breaks one tackle, bounces off another.
He broke the tackle.
Finally brought
Robinson
down by number
98.
Who was it? 98. O'Keefe. And a first down for Bishop Bar.
Along with Rob Aiello, 21 in on the tackle.
Charlie, what do you see out there from the East Brunswick defense? What do they need to do to stop this running game?
Well, they're trying to protect against the pass. I mean, it's obvious from the distance that they're back off the line. I just think they got to stay with what they have right here and give them a few yards as long as they don't complete that long pass.
Okay, so a first down for the Trojans.
Well, they just went with a 5-man
Taylor
line.
with a pass, caught and gathered in by.
Looked like Julian Austin, number 9.
Okay, good. And he's close to first down yardage, but maybe
not
quite
short,
there.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs about another yard or so. That's the first completion of the game. Ball is resting on the 30-yard line of East Brunswick.
You asked what they could do to stop the run. Well, the Bears went to a 5-man front that time, so they changed their front. They put 44 Alexander down.
All right, here's your trips right. Lone backfield is Demeter. Taylor calling signals. Give this to him. Demeter up the middle. He keeps on driving. Boy, it takes more than one to bring these guys down, huh?
O'Keefe and 98, O'Keefe was in on that tackle along with Ayala. That's the end of the first quarter.
Wow.
Wow, that's quick.
It was quick. So the end of the first quarter of play, East Brunswick 7 and Bishop Bar nothing. The Trojans driving. Ball is on the 14-yard line.
Like 14, right?
Another first down. Boy, I'll tell you what, it does present a problem for the Bear defense in that they recognize that Bishop Bar has a potent passing attack, and when they adjust, that's when the running game seems to work well. They got 2 quality backs there in Hamra and Demeter.
I think the Bears made a couple of changes up front. Guys get a little bit tired, and they want to rotate them a little bit more, which I think is the thing to do. The other adjustment that they tried to make was they put Alexander, the middle linebacker, down over the center to create a 5-man front to give him a little different blocking assignments for Bishop Bar, maybe to confuse them a little bit. But as you can see from that last run, they didn't appear confused to me. But we'll see how the Bears adjust to the running attack of the Trojans.
Okay, and again, as good as this running game is working for Bishop Bar, you can never lose sight of number 13. He just can get open.
And he's out here one-on-one with Rob Aiella.
And if they can get enough time to throw to him, Poe is going to do the job. All right, Taylor calling signals. Ball on the 14-yard. First down. There's the give up to Hamra in the middle. I think a flag was thrown, Charlie.
Yep.
Yep.
Flag on the play. We'll see what it is.
Now, you said it was from the back judge, so it's got to be holding.
Oh, yeah.
That is the call.
Actually, that's the umpire right behind there, I think. That's his responsibility. Well, they picked up 8-9 yards. Bears obviously have to take this. Alexander, the defensive captain for the Bears, number 44, tells him mark it off. Moves it back.
Yep. And
22-yard line, Jim, I think.
where it's at now.
22, 23-yard line, yeah.
So it'll be a 1st and 20. Taylor is the quarterback. East Brunswick is spread.
All right, single back.
Up the middle,
Up the middle.
Demeter. Who made that tackle?
77, Mike Cassina.
Okay. Gain of, let's say, 3-5 on the play, perhaps?
About 5 yards.
2nd and 15. So Bishop Bar not trying to gain it all back in one shot. The
Right.
running game has been working, so why not stay with it?
Ball's on the 17-yard line.
We're in the second period. 11 minutes to go. East Brunswick with a 7-0 lead. They scored on their first possession, a 62-yard run by Brian Robertson, and that's where we're at.
You got Powell wide to the right.
Taylor.
Draw.
Give is a draw.
Oh, they have
Boy,
him in
does
the backfield.
Boy, does he know how to break tackles, huh? I'm telling you. Cody Hamrah was stopped dead in his tracks
Hit
in the middle of
behind the
the
line of
field,
scrimmage.
and he somehow squirms, finds daylight to the left, and moves it in for a touchdown. We're going to say about a 17-yard run.
Yeah, 17, Jim.
Okay.
10:46 remaining. And that's a tough one because, as you indicated, the Bears had an arm around him in the backfield. Hamrah was able to slip out and put it in the end zone from 17 yards.
The point after attempted
By number 3.
Yep, that is Frank. Excuse me. Well, that's Corey Hammond, who puts it through.
Yep, it's good.
And we have a tie game, 7-7. 10:46 left to go in the first period.
That was Daniel Potts, number 29, who was the holder. We want to give them credit here, you know.
Yeah, we're going to do that all night.
That's right. Very important. Okay. Well, we're even, Jim. 7-7.
Yeah, interesting that both touchdowns came when you thought that the running backs had been stopped.
Yeah, Robinson a little bit cleaner than that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit
you know, on the counter, but that one, that play looked like it was designed to go to the right, and he was hit, and it looked like he was going to come down, but he didn't, and broke it off to the left, and the Bears had started to close in to finish the tackle, and were unable to react to that. So a nice play, nice run by Hamrah.
You got Mineta and Robinson deep for East Brunswick. Number 33, we don't know. We don't even know if he's a student at Bishop Bar, Charlie.
Well, I will hope he is, but he's not listed in their program, so we apologize for that. A little squib.
There's that bouncing kick, and still loose.
Off of Danny Fassel's hands into the hands of number 3 for East Brunswick, Frank Camella.
And that's where really you're starting to see how effective those types of kicks are, why they prefer not to kick it deep.
Very difficult. The other thing is, Jim, I think the other factor is that it's a little bit wet down there, so that ball gets a little wet and gets slick. We're at the 33, 34-yard line.
34-yard line.
Right.
Okay. Mark Maritsky has been the quarterback all the way for East Brunswick. And a triple backfield. Give is to Robinson, who's nailed.
He's met hard.
By Waring.
36.
He's that active linebacker we were talking about.
Well, he's fired up, too. No gain.
Right. No gain on the play. Thinking it's 2nd and 10. 10:20 left in the first half of play. We are tied 7-7 between Bishop Bar and East Brunswick. This game important for both teams.
That was a solid tackle by Waring. All right, Schultz 17 split out to the left.
Again, the wishbone backfield.
Full house.
Give is the first back. No.
Maritsky.
Maritsky kept. And again, there is that good speed by Bishop Bar.
That was number 9, Julian Austin, one of the tacklers there for Bishop Bar.
And he makes the tackle, so Maritsky, who thought he might have got more yards, ends up with 3.
He had a chance that time, although, it's hard to say, to pitch that ball back to Bobby Mineta, who was open on the coming wide here, but it's easier from here than down there.
3rd and 7 for the Bears, shotgun. Maritsky looks like he's going to run with it and still stays on his feet.
Boy, he's close. I think he's got the first down.
Depends on where they mark it.
First down.
Yep. Wow. Give that to Mark Maritsky.
Great balance. Now, as long as your knees don't touch, your hand can go down. Both hands can go down, but if you can keep those knees off the ground, it keeps going. Bears up to the 40, just short of the 45-yard line.
And that was an important first down for East Brunswick.
It was.
Keeps the drive alive and
it changes the momentum a little bit.
Sure it does.
Bishop Bar was fired up. Waring's making stick after stick out there, and the Bears keep the ball.
Maritsky give up the middle.
Riccio.
He gets a couple of yards.
Stopped by number 31.
Well, actually 5 yards on that play.
Richard Joseph on the stop for Bishop Bar. But 5 yards for Riccio. Had 100 yards, 110 yards against Woodbridge last week.
He was the workhorse in that mud.
Yes, he was.
So East Brunswick with a little bit of a drive here. They're right at midfield.
Ball's right on it, yellow stripe, midfield.
2nd and 5. Triple backfield. Maritsky's going to pass. Looking for Schultz. Oh, just a little long.
A little bit long. He was open.
Dwayne had split that seam and then found himself behind the defender.
Ran that little.
Maritsky was just a little long in the pass.
That little post pattern, and he broke free.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 5 for East Brunswick.
Well,
boy, Mark has a nice arm.
Ooh, that's touchdown time right there.
Yeah.
He was behind those guys, and I think he had the momentum. Hamrob was one of the defenders back there for Bishop Bar. I don't know if he would have caught him.
So you have Mineta actually split wide to the left. Schultz at the bottom of the screen. Maritsky
Riccio
gives to Riccio, who
first down.
Yeah, he does a nice job of breaking one tackle and plunges it forward, and that's going to give East Brunswick another first down.
Yeah, that was 34 Demeter on the stop for Bishop Bar, but not until Riccio carried him about 2 yards for that first down.
Ball resting on the Bishop Bar 44-yard line, down to 7:35 left to go in the second quarter. We are tied 7-7 in this game. Evenly matched teams, it appears.
Wide, 2 wides.
Maritsky going to pass. Looks for Fessels. Got him.
Danny Fessel.
And right at the first down marker, Danny Fessel gathers in that nice pass.
Stopped by Julian Austin, number 9 for Bishop Bar.
Charlie, I noticed that Maritsky, when he has decided to pass, has enough time. And that's important.
He's had time tonight, that's correct, which makes, if you've been back there trying to throw that, you know that a little bit of time is, well, you get a chance to see the field a little bit. He had 2 or 3 receivers that were in a clear there, and he picked Danny Fessel and for the first down.
Okay, Robinson and Mineta, the deep backs.
33-yard line.
Riccio at the fullback position. Maritsky at quarterback. Calling signals. Give is to Mineta. He breaks one tackle, but brought down
by 54, Morgan Lobella.
He's in one of those veteran linebackers that Bishop Bar brings. Excuse me, he's the middle guard.
Middle guard, 54.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Yep, up to the 32-yard line.
Now you have a lone back, Robinson. Boy, they really switch things around, don't they?
I was just going to comment on that. The Bears have more formations than...
There's the pitch to Robinson, and...
Stays on his feet.
Right. Who was that? Hamrah that get into the backfield? I think it was.
Yeah, Hamron was back there along with 34.
That's
Demeter.
Demeter. So Cody Hamrah did not make the tackle, but he slowed down Robinson enough so that basically he lost about a yard on the play.
That was number 9, Julian Austin, who made the stop for the Trojans.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for East Brunswick.
A long 10.
Obvious passing. Well, you don't know if it's a passing situation,
Pretty
do you?
much so. I mean, they're too far out for a field goal attempt, so.
So they could use 2 downs here if necessary.
Yeah.
See what happens. Riccio the lone back. Robinson to the right. He's going to, looks like he's going to throw to him. A little long again. Intended for Fessel.
I think what happened that time, Mariski came up, was going to Fessel, and saw that he was double covered, and got the ball, threw it over his head, which was a smart play.
Okay. So 4th down, and they may punt the ball. You see 25 out there? Yeah, Files out there.
Yeah, I guess they're going to punt. Back him up. See, it's very difficult in high school ball to have that progression. You know, we're going to start.
Exactly.
You know, and go to that 2nd or 3rd receiver.
Too many things can happen.
You got pressure on you, and it's a difficult thing.
So nobody really deep for Bishop Bar. They're guarding against a fake. File lifts it. Nice punt, it appears.
Tries to get it out of bounds, and he apparently does.
Let's see where they mark it.
They're coming up to the 10, 15. Stop there.
Right about the 15-yard line.
About the 17, yeah, I guess. Yeah, 16 or 17.
So when you measure how far the punt was, they'll
wasn't
probably give
a long
him credit
one.
for about a 7-yard kick.
Well,
Charlie, 2 weeks ago in a game, I tell you, South Plainfield was kicking, and the wind was so heavy, the ball actually went back 5 yards. Negative 5 yards on the punt.
well, last week I saw a 3-yarder. Miami's punter had a 3-yarder right there at the end of the game.
In a crucial situation.
In a crucial situation, so it can happen.
All right, Bishop R on its own 15, 1st down, 5 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter. Give is up the middle to Demeter. He slips, but still maintains his feet. Gets nice yardage up to about, I think maybe he's got a first down.
That's Frank Samella, number 3, that came up and finally made the stop for the Bears. That's a lot of yardage.
The Trojans have been successful in breaking that line. And once they're out there, then they get some more yards.
Well, what's happening is the Bears are getting a hand on them, but they're unable to wrap them up and make that stop. They're making an initial hit, the line and the linebackers, but they're breaking clear from that. Determined running by both.
All right, this play is taking
Hammer's
a long
going
time
out.
to get off. I wonder if they're going to have enough time.
It's probably a pass play. Usually takes longer for a pass play.
There's the give up the middle.
That was a quick snap. Lost his helmet.
Now I see a flag. Let's see what that's all about. Well, Demeter's helmet's off.
Stopped by Campbell, 68.
You wonder if there was a face mask on that.
I don't know.
They're talking it over. And that's exactly what it is. Is it a 5 or a 15?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Well,
we'll know in a second here.
5. 5 yards. Okay, so it was not a personal foul, but nonetheless, 5-yard penalty gives them an additional, well, actually no down on that.
No
so
down.
It's first and 3.
Still first down. 1st and 3.
Clock running. 4:10 left to go. 2nd quarter.
Wide out here to the left.
We haven't seen Mark Poe yet. Taylor's going to keep it up the middle. And actually a tackle. It saved a lot of yards on that one by Robinson.
Robinson, 23.
They get the first down, however.
Clock stops on a first down until the chains are set.
I don't think any team has used the timeout, have they?
No, they have not. And I should correct that just a second. When the down marker goes in, that's when the official will start the clock, not when the chains finally get to where they're going.
So that starts right now.
Well, it started as soon as he put that down marker in, the clock starts going.
Another first down for Bishop R. Taylor.
Long count.
Give is to Hamrah. He kicks to the outside one more time.
Frank Samella, number 3 on that tackle.
Cody Hamrah is hard to bring down. Not the biggest of backs.
But he's quick.
Yep.
You know, he just
5'8", 155.
like you said, not big, but quickness.
Gain of 6 on the play, making it 2nd and 4. However, the clock is going to be a factor now. We're down to 3 minutes.
Well, they actually have plenty of time if they keep moving here. But
started from the 15-yard line.
they got 3 timeouts, so that it'll make a difference. Part of the thought used to be we don't use those timeouts till we get.
There's Taylor. He's going to throw, and it was intended. Oh, we got a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's going to be interference.
Charlie, you were going to say something?
Well, usually you don't use those timeouts till you get across the 50.
Okay.
You know, I mean that's just a rule of thumb. If we can get it in and score, fine. If not, we're going to run the clock out. We're not going to give them back the ball.
Now the significance of this penalty is it's not from where the ball, the penalty occurred. It's a 15-yard penalty from scrimmage. So this is a big one.
You'll see those timeouts now.
That ball is going to go down inside the 40-yard line for Bishop Bar, down to the 38.
And that's hard to see. It was difficult to see if the hit came before the ball.
Strictly a judgment.
Yep.
So a first down for the Trojans. Powell is to the top screen. Taylor is looking for him. Nope. Give is to, I believe is that number 86?
86, Jim.
Okay, that would be, we don't have him on our, do we?
He's on there.
Okay, that's Kieran.
Ryan Kieran.
6'4", 188-pound Ryan Kieran gets out of bounds. No, he did not get out of bounds.
No, he wasn't out of bounds. It's but a gain of 7.
Why didn't he get out of bounds on that play, Charlie?
Well, yeah, he's brought down by the East Brunswick. I think Mineta was over there.
Instead of turning it in, he would have done better.
Yeah, he could have gotten out of bounds there, very possibly.
2 minutes left to go.
Spread him out here to the left.
Boy, trips left.
Run right up the middle.
And you called it. That's Demeter. Gets good yards on the play. Another first down, stops the clock. Ball's down to about the 17-yard. I saw that coming too.
Did you?
You called it.
I saw it.
You call it. And
I saw it right off the bat. Bobby Mineta made a touchdown-saving tackle there for the Bears.
And I think do we have a timeout now? Oh, clock is running.
Chain is set. No.
Clock.
They figure they got plenty of time. Ball's down at the 16, 17-yard line.
I personally would have used one of mine, but
well, so
what
would
the
I.
heck?
If you got 3 of them.
All right, another first down. Watch him keep it on the ground. Nope, Taylor's going to keep it to the left. He's got some room.
He's got to come up.
They closed in on him.
Oh, there's Holden. That's Holden.
Yep, they called it. You caught it, Charlie.
Thank you.
So the touchdown is good. However, they're going to call holding on that. At that point, that's going to go back 10 yards.
I'm sure our viewers saw that. The Bishop Bar young man just grabbed a hold of that green jersey and kind of tugged on it as the quarterback, Taylor, was coming around his side. And official can't miss that one.
So the hold will mark the ball back on.
Bring it back.
To where? The 15-yard line.
Right, it's a spot foul.
1 minute and 16 seconds left to go in the second quarter of play. It is tie score, 7-7. Bishop Bar looking to get more points.
It's back at the 15, so it's first down and, 8, Jim?
Now they split the 3 receivers to the right.
To the wide side. They're taking advantage of the wide side of the field.
And East Brunswick's defense is spread as well.
Robinson comes back into the middle looking for that run.
And there's Demeter.
And he's stopped by Campbell, 68.
Gets about 4 yards on the play.
It looks like about 4.
Okay, and now the clock stops.
Alexander and Campbell on that stop. He didn't miss that one.
So the timeout by Bishop Bar, they have a 2nd and 4, let's call it.
Just about the 10-yard line.
All right,
maybe
Charlie,
11.
You're the coach. You got 1 minute and 7 left to go, 2 timeouts. Do you stick to, is the running play still?
I run the ball.
Okay.
I'd split them out just like they just did with 3 wides out to the wide side of the field. Even split the guy out on this side. It doesn't matter. He's not going to touch the ball anyway. And if East Brunswick, like Robinson that time, we saw 23 come back into the middle to his normal position. He was out on one of the receivers. He motioned to, I think it was Mineta, or Ayala to come up and play that, and he went back in the middle, and as a result of that, he didn't make the initial contact, but I think his being there changed the blocking and the flow for Bishop Bar, and they were able to stop him. So, well, we're back ready to go here.
Well, it seems to me that regardless of whether it's a passing situation, East Brunswick is just going to have to assign somebody to the backfield. Now, you see 34 Demeter, the lone back.
And you see 37 Riccio in there, and Alexander's down in a 5-man front.
You got to watch. No, he's going to throw.
Pass.
There it is.
Screen.
Hamra squeezes through, and he
Touchdown.
scores. Wow.
1 minute remaining in the half.
And a nice play, a completion of 8 yards, is it? No, 15 yards.
Yeah, 15.
So Hamra picks up his second touchdown. And now Bishop Bar, with 1 minute left in the second period, takes a 13-7 lead.
That pass was behind the line of scrimmage, and they had 2 blockers out in front. The Bears couldn't get rid of their the blockers, and as a result of that, Hamra was able to go in for the score.
And Corey Hammond will attempt the extra point. Good snap. Kick is up.
And it's good.
So, with 1 minute left to go in the second quarter, Bishop Bar takes the ball 85 yards and scores the touchdown that puts them ahead 14-7.
Well, that was an impressive drive by Bishop Bar. There's no question about that. They did a lot of good things there. Certainly a couple of penalties they overcame. The holding penalty down here just before into the end zone, came right back out and were able to stick it in. So Bishop Bar is an impressive team.
Well, they move the ball well, that's for sure. They have a lot of tools, and I think they've taken advantage of the fact that East Brunswick was looking for them to throw the ball, and they've utilized the run very, very well with Cody Hamra and Andrew Demeter, their primary backs.
Demeter runs hard, and Hamra is quick and pretty shifty. So we'll see what happens on this kickoff. If we're going to squib another one down there, or we're going to boot one, try to get it a little bit further down the field.
Well, our no-name kicker for Bishop Bar has not kicked long on both attempts.
Right.
But I have a feeling he's going to try to put it as deep as possible this time. You got Mineta and Robinson deep for East Brunswick. Maybe they will not touch the ball.
Well, they're moving up now here. So.
All right, there's another kick, long. That is Bobby Mineta with the ball.
Right.
Cuts to the middle. Hammered. Good tackle there by number 57.
Bubba
Shaughnessy?
Shaughnessy.
Okay. And the Bears will begin with 52 seconds left. I believe they have all 3 timeouts.
And are at the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. So
well,
they have.
And Maritsky has shown he can throw it long.
Well, the Bears got to put it up here. I would think they're in pretty good field position. Certainly don't want to turn it over, but if number 9 gets back much further, Austin, he'll be in the end zone for.
Well, with those
Bishop
3
Bar.
timeouts, East Brunswick can definitely run the ball, and that's exactly what they do. Robinson
breaks the
caught.
tackle, but he gets
Number 54 on that tackle.
He gets nailed by 54.
Labello. He actually does. He loses yards on that play.
Well, the Bears just going to let the clock run at this point.
And that seems to be the case. 30 seconds left to go.
Well, they're going to have to run one more play because the ball was. But I would be surprised. Well, I've been surprised before.
Why not throw it long, Charlie?
If it's intercepted and run back, you kind of kick yourself all the way to the locker room. And beyond, for that matter. Maybe we're going to throw.
There's the pitch. Fake to Maritsky, holds on to it. Boy, they weren't buying that one.
Well, I don't think that he was going to pitch it at all in the first place.
Yeah.
And they were just going to run the clock out. But Mark Maritsky, do me a favor. Next time, take a knee, because he took an unnecessary hit by 3.
Yes.
3 very large. Morgan Labello there at 54 got another smack against him there. And no sense in taking that hit if you're not going to do anything with the ball anyway.
So as time runs out, the score at halftime, Bishop Bar 14 and East Brunswick 7. They scoring just very, very quickly. East Brunswick on its first possession, a 62-yard run by Brian Robinson at 10:21, made it 7-0. And then Bishop Park came back later in that first period, a 17-yard run by Cody Hamraw. Excuse me, that was the second quarter at 10:46, tied it 7-7. And then the Trojans, with 1 minute left to play, Justin Taylor completing a 15-yard pass to Hamraw. He ran it in, and that made it 14-7, and that's where we stand. Okay, so as we have mentioned, it is homecoming at East Brunswick. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff.
Okay, we're back watching the homecoming proceedings here at East Brunswick High School at halftime of the Bishop R. East Brunswick, Bishop R leading 14-7. Right now in the background, and I'll be quiet, maybe we can pick up some of that. The student council president is reading her speech. I don't know how much of that you could hear. We were trying to pick up some of that, but let me introduce the, we're about ready for those introductions. Each class has a representative, a male and a female representative. This year for the sophomores, and he's not out there because he's got a uniform on, number 84, Danny Fasella is the representative from the sophomore class. Megan Farrell is the female representative of the sophomore class. The juniors are represented by Sal Giorgio and Stephanie Nicosa. And this year's senior, the king and queen of this year's homecoming, are Jody Gladstone and Mike McCarthy. And you don't see him out there because he's also got a uniform on and wearing number 72. This is an exciting week. It's Spirit Week at the high school, homecoming. The halls are decorated, and this morning they had decorations throughout the building in the gym, and the theme was rock bands, and the seniors were voted the best, and they represented the Beatles. So I guess they knew how to choose the right rock band. That's the okay. We'll be back with the start of the second half kickoff in just a moment.
All right, we are back here at J. Doyle Field. Halftime just concluding. We had the homecoming activities, and the score is 14-7 in favor of Bishop R. Wanted to use this opportunity to provide you with some of the information on how the fall sports teams are doing. And Charlie, as they usually are, I'm just going down here, just sparkling these records are, and that's you come to expect that with East Brunswick. The girls soccer team is currently 10-2, and their next home game is Monday with South Brunswick. The boys soccer team is 6-5-1, but they started pretty poorly, if I remember correctly, and they've really come on.
Yeah, they've had a few injuries too that really have affected their performance, I believe.
And Monday they will be at South Brunswick. Cross-country teams, boys 6-1, the girls are 5-2, and their next meet is going to be at J.P. Stevens on Wednesday. That would be the 23rd. Field hockey team currently 10-2, and what a job they are doing this year. Today they played against Old Bridge. We did not get the final on that score. And their next game is going to be a big one against South Plainfield, which might be the best field hockey team in the county. That's Monday. The girls tennis team, 15-4, played J.P. Stevens today. We don't have a final on that one.
They won.
Okay.
East Brunswick won.
And their next match is against South Brunswick on Monday. The gymnastics team, 8-1. Their next meet will be the GMC Championships on Thursday. Do you know where they're going to be, Charlie? The GMC Championships? I don't have that listed here.
No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
off the top of my head. I don't remember.
And then finally, the girls volleyball team is 15-5, and their next game is going to be against Southern Regional and Williamstown. It'll be like a tri-meet on Saturday. That's actually tomorrow. So good job by all the coaches and the East Brunswick fall teams. Charlie, you have a couple more things?
Yeah, just a reminder that on October the 21st at 7 p.m. here at the high school, the East Brunswick High School will run a program for parents. Mike Manello from Rutgers will speak on the topics such as recruiting procedures, the clearinghouse, and if anybody has dealt with that or is dealing with the clearinghouse, they know that it's important to follow the proper procedure and the NCAA regulations. So that's October the 21st here at the high school at 7 o'clock, and it's a workshop sponsored by the athletic department for all the parents of athletes.
Okay, and boy, that's big stuff these days.
Yes, it is, and as I said, the clearinghouse came into existence probably 8 or 9 years ago, and you must meet those qualifications in order to participate and qualify at the collegiate level.
You see the team's captains coming to the center of the field. Now, you remember that Bishop Bar won the toss and elected to defer to the second half, so they will have the choice as to whether kick or receive. I imagine they want to get the ball.
I would think they would.
And East Brunswick will have the choice of which goal they want to defend. No wind to speak of. Field looks in pretty good shape considering all the rain we had.
It's a little soft. I was down on the field before the game this evening, but it's in pretty good shape.
All right, so you see where the team's going to be.
Bishop Bar
Trojans
will receive.
Right.
Right.
And we're going to be underway here in a second.
Just a comment about that first half, Jim, while we got a second here. I don't know, from my perspective, the turning point seemed to be when the Bears had the ball here at about their own 35-yard line, and there was a play up the middle. I think Riccio went for about 15, 18 yards, and there was a hold on that play and brought the ball back, and the Bears had a 1st and 20 or whatever it was. They never seemed to regain control of the game, and from that point to the conclusion of the half, it appeared from my vantage point anyway that Bishop Bar had the momentum throughout the rest of that half.
But on the bright side, though, it seemed to me that East Brunswick can move the ball.
Right.
And
they've done some positive things,
right, exactly.
No question. Hopefully they can regain, and this game, like any other game, I guess, but football seems to me more than most, momentum is so important. You get that something good happens, and you build on that that tackle or the fumble that you recover or whatever it might be, completed pass, and you can carry that forward. So the Bears need to regain that and get back into that groove that they were in at the start of the game.
All right. Beyond, how do you pronounce his first name?
Padrick.
Padrick
Bean.
Okay. This is his actually first opportunity to kick off tonight because the Bears.
No, he kicked off.
Oh, you're right. After the
score.
touchdown.
After the score, I think Padrick was there.
All right. He's been the mainstay for East Brunswick this season, and we are underway. A high kick fielded, looks to be by number 24.
Ricky Resto.
Who is wrestled down.
He's wrestled down there by Mineta.
Yes.
And Robinson was in there.
A short kick. None of the fleet backs for Bishop Bar were able to get their hands on the ball, so Still, they have the ball on the 36-yard line. I wonder sometimes about the wisdom of these short kicks.
I think you kick it off and kick it down the field. If you have a kicker that can get it down around the 10-yard line, I think that's everybody's afraid of the run back, and that's you can appreciate that. 3 wide to the right here.
Yeah, you got Hamra and Curran, excuse me. So
middle.
naturally Demeter gets the ball and gets about 3 to 4 yards on
Looks
that play.
like O'Keefe and Robinson on the stop for the Bears.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they've split them wide and they run the ball consistently. And until East Brunswick is able to adjust to that, I don't think Bishop Bar is going to stop.
I wouldn't stop. If I could run the ball as effectively as Bishop Bar has this first half and to start the second half, why pass it? And they only threw that pass, actually threw 2 passes, right? I think it was the interception and the one for the touchdown.
I'm still waiting for Matt Powell to break loose here. I think he's just in hiding at this moment. Taylor with the ball, keeps it, and I thought there was a hold there. But number 86 for Bishop Bar got away with a hold. But Taylor gets up to, he gets about 5 yards on that play.
43-yard line, it'll be marked at that point. This is a big third down here, Jim. Third and about 1.5.
Right. We're just underway in this third quarter of play. Bishop Bar with a 14-7 lead. So now you have 2 in the backfield. Hamra, the deep back, he's been very consistent in breaking tackles and getting the necessary yards. And he with the ball. And a
nice
good
stop.
tackle that time. Who was that? Number 44?
That's Alexander.
Gets to the backfield and stops Bishop Bar. Charlie, just what they needed.
Again, Alexander was down. The Bears have changed the defense a little bit to that 5-man front to give Bishop Bar something different to look at. And Alexander, nice play, broke through and didn't let him go.
So the Trojans in a punting situation. Mineta and Robinson, the deep backs. Is that number 6, the punter? I can't tell.
Well, it looked like 2, but I think it's 3, Hammond.
Okay. He is also the kicker. And they're going to fake it. Oh, and a great tackle, and that was Hamra. I don't know if that was a fake, Charlie, but...
it was a fake all the way.
It was a fake all the way?
All the way, and that was number 21, Rob Ayala, came up for, wasn't fooled, and was able to stop that. Now, Hamra is not the punter.
Okay. That should have been tip off right there.
I think so. I mean, at least I haven't seen them punt. But,
well, East Brunswick certainly looked like they were ready for it. And now they get them. You talk about momentum possibly changing.
Oh, this is where you pick it up right here.
You got to capitalize.
40-yard line, 1st and 10.
Mark Maritsky, the quarterback. Wishbone backfield. Give. Mineta, boy, I'll tell you what, they really disguised that well. Mineta actually was the 3rd back on that.
Resto, 24, one of the tacklers for the Trojans.
And a gain of 1 on the play, so they didn't get all that much. 9:19 left to go in the third quarter. 14-7 Bishop Bar over East Brunswick. Nice crowd here for the homecoming game.
Yeah, there was a very nice crowd tonight, and Bishop Bar brought some spectators themselves, so that's encouraging.
2nd and 9, ball resting on the 39-yard line. East Brunswick desperately wants a touchdown to tie this game up. Maritsky looks like he's going to throw it. Runs around, but didn't get enough time. And number 58, the linebacker.
58 for is Andy Mazzi.
We got a player down for East Brunswick. That looks like Bobby Mineta, Charlie.
And he's holding, I don't know, looked like he was holding his knee, but I think possibly a hand. We hate to speculate. We'll wait and see what happens here. Had nobody to throw the ball to that time.
Which was probably the reason why he ended up being sacked.
The intended receiver looked to be Danny Fessel, but Fessel, excuse me. But He really wasn't open, and Mirsky did a wise thing in pulling it down and not taking a chance for the interception. But it'll bring up a 3rd and 12 here for the Bears when we go back to the action. We'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully Mineta is not injured seriously. It looks like he's moving around, so.
All right, he's getting up.
Yep, he's going to walk off.
He's walking off okay.
Looks like that left arm is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was kind of grabbing at his knee, which I didn't particularly like to see that, obviously, but it's either a shoulder probably.
All right, a big 3rd down for East Brunswick. They're in Bishop Bar territory here.
And I'll tell you, you don't want to lose Bobby Mineta because he's an outstanding athlete.
We'll keep an eye on him. He's walking the sidelines. 3rd and 13. Riccio is the lone back. There's Robinson open if they can find him. Oh, and Maritsky gets nailed by number 36.
Waring.
Boy, they were coming, weren't they?
Yeah, he had no time whatsoever.
Boy, Robinson was open on the flat here. If Maritsky only had enough time to get the ball to him.
You're right. He was wide open. I saw the same thing, but it's kind of hard to throw that ball when there's 3 white shirts coming hard on you, and Waring, as we mentioned in the first half, he sticks you when he hits you, that guy.
Well, these guys, we mentioned also, is that this is a veteran crew.
Doug File on
they
the
know
kick.
what they're doing. And they responded to that East Brunswick momentum shift. Not a great kick here by File. Takes a good roll, though.
Going to go out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
And that's where Bishop Bar will take over with 7:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. It is 14-7 in favor of the Trojans.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 23. Well, let's see if the Bears can hold them again. Okay, Taylor brings them up.
Yep. You got Powell, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Curran to the bottom of your screen. Cody Hamraw is the lone setback. He with the ball.
Off
has
the
some
right
room.
side.
Breaks through the seam, gets himself about 10 yards.
That was O'Keefe 98 on the initial contact, but a 1st down for Bishop R. That moves the chains. It'll make it a 1st and 10 from the just short of the 35-yard line. He broke clean off that right side.
7:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the Bears
continues to run.
Yeah, they got to come up with a defensive stand here, Jim.
Yeah, they really do. They need to stop this running attack that has been very potent this evening. All right.
Bishop R is a little confused. And
Yep.
he called a timeout.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time they had, but they certainly the backs went to the wrong side, or the wideouts were coming to the near side here, and Taylor wisely called a timeout as didn't want to start off 1st and 15.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that we have noted is that there are a number of formations which both teams have been using tonight.
I have been absolutely impressed with both teams on offense. I mean, for East Brunswick, they must have 100 different formations. It seems to me they're always got something new to show that defense and let them think about. And Bishop R is certainly multifaceted also. Yeah, we can see on the sidelines here with Mineta, Mr. Hostler, the athletic trainer at the high school, is working on.
Looks like a shoulder, perhaps?
Yeah, the range of motion in that left shoulder. But hopefully Mineta will be able to return. All right, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Taylor
Alexander
is going to throw, caught by Poe, and he's got some room. Look at that speed. And that's the that's how good he is. He gets the ball. It doesn't have to be a long pass, Charlie, but once
quick.
he gets it, he takes off.
Well, that was a touchdown saving tackle there by Frank Camella, number 3.
And you're going to see him. You're going to see him catch the ball maybe 2-3 times a game.
Well, I want to
But
give
once
you.
he does-
I want to give a comment about Alexander. He was on Taylor, and Taylor made a nice pass with Alexander right in his face.
So another first down. The Trojans are in East Brunswick territory. Ball's on the 37-yard line. Taylor gives to Hamrah. He tap dances. Drags a couple of more tacklers with him. Good yardage on that play. About 5.
Stopped by 68. Campbell made the first initial tackle for contact for the Bears. But a gain of, what, 5?
Yep,
Almost
second and
5.
5.
Yeah.
That Cody Hamrah, for 155 pounds, they get their money's worth from him.
He is quick, and he's a tough guy. I mean, he's been hit hard a couple of times and just pops right back up there. They got him spread out this time, Joe.
Taylor keeps
Gonna
it.
keep it.
And East Brunswick diagnosed that rather well.
Yes, they did. Stopped by Heilman.
I think Bishop Bar has gone to
Or is
the
that
well.
Rick? I'm sorry, that's Riccio, Chris Riccio, who was down on the field holding an ankle.
Yep. Well, he just went down.
Looked
So,
like he twisted that ankle. That area right there, it seems a little bit muddy. And
So injuries in the last 2 sequences by some key players for East Brunswick.
and
on
Riccio just
defense.
came in the game, replacing O'Keefe, and was involved in that tackle, but apparently twisted an ankle. Here comes the cart.
Wow, that was quick.
I don't know if that's the nature of the injury or Mr. Hostler was down on this side here.
You wonder if they're going to take a little bit of time. I'll tell you what, we're gonna shut down here for a moment, and when we're about ready to go, we'll be back with the action. All right, they have carted Chris Riccio off the field. He was able to walk very gingerly under his own power, so you have to think it's not a break, as Charlie was mentioning off the air. But nonetheless, we're ready to go here on a 3rd down and 7 yards to go for Bishop R. Justin Taylor, the sophomore quarterback, gives to Hamrah on a draw play. What a lot of room he had there.
A risky initial contact for the Bears, but not until he has a first down inside the 20.
Boy, that was a good play. And they have been running all night.
You know, I think I could have ran through that hole. Now, that was huge.
Yeah. So another first down for the Trojans. This is a crucial drive for East Brunswick to stop. They're down by 7 points. We were down to 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball is on the 18-yard line.
You got to give that offensive line of Bishop Bar a lot of credit, anchored by number 74, Gary Yetzko, the center.
Again, Hamrah with it.
Another draw.
They finally got him. There's a flag on the play. Let's see what that's all about.
Looked like Alexander on a stop.
And it is a holding penalty. So a untimely penalty for Bishop Bar.
Or a very timely penalty for East Brunswick. That hold will bring it back 10.
So that'll mark it back to the 28. Make it 1st and 20.
Well, that changes your thinking a little bit, but as many yards as Cody Hamrah has been able to pick up tonight, I don't know if it's a problem for him.
I'm wondering what the East Brunswick linebackers, I mean, are they getting good looks on these running plays?
They're getting blocked. I mean, from what I can see, that line is doing a nice job for Bishop Bar.
That really tells you a lot. Taylor back to throw. He looks deep, and Poe actually turned in. He wouldn't have had it anyway. He might have even thrown it away.
or he thought that Poe was going to go outside. Poe took a
An inside route.
turn to the inside there.
Yeah.
But that was 15 yards over his head and out of bounds.
So a 2nd and 20. Ball goes back to the 28-yard line.
Well, we certainly could say this is kind of this is a critical juncture of this game here.
Yes.
If the Bears can hold, then without Bishop Arb going up on the board and extending that lead, they're still in this game.
Charlie, watch for Ryan Kieran here.
I got
He's got himself a nice little matchup on the downside, and Taylor is going to throw to him. Actually, it was intended for number 9,
Austin. Julian Austin, defended by Frank Camella for the Bears, number 3. It was hard to tell initially if he was going to go deep or not.
Yeah. Now the Trojans need to get to the 8-yard line for a first down.
Oh, we got 3rd down here and 20, Jim.
Right.
Big play of this game right here.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes.
Well, they got 2 downs too.
They're probably going for pay dirt.
Powers to the right, wide.
Yep. Keep your your eye on number 13 for the Trojans on the top side. There he is, and thrown right behind him. Timing was off just a bit.
Good defensive position over there by, looks like Schultz for the Bears, but the ball was thrown behind him.
All right, so 3 good defensive plays. Stops by East Brunswick makes it a 4th and 20. So that holding penalty is looming a little large at this point.
Very large. Out there going for it, obviously too far out for a field goal and too close for much of a punt. So.
And if I'm the East Brunswick linebackers, I'm getting ahead of steam and I'm coming in. There's Taylor.
Back to throw.
Here they come.
Screen.
Oh, a screen pass to Hamrah. And he gets about 10 yards, but that's not going to be enough.
That was the same screen they ran for the touchdown.
It was.
Right before the half.
So East Brunswick, with the stop, takes over.
I didn't see the tackler. I thought it was Rob Aiello, but the Bears reacted well to that, and they had 20 yards to play with.
Sure, so you can bend off a little bit. That's true.
Well, it looks like first down for East Brunswick on the 20-yard line, just about at the 20, maybe 19.
Now the issue here, Charlie, is that other than Robinson's 62-yard run, East Brunswick has moved the ball, but if they get bogged down in a long drive, it's a problem. So I think they need a big play.
Well, they'd like a big play, but they'll take control here too.
Maritzky gives up the middle to number 44.
That's Alexander.
Gets great yardage right out the midfield.
That's interesting because Alexander started the season at fullback, and Riccio has come on, and Alexander has been able to just play one way, and Riccio gets hurt. Alexander comes back in and breaks one off here for 30 yards, Jim.
Right. Chris Riccio is actually sitting on the bench with his leg up.
He's got an
ankle sprain, obviously. All right, a big first down for East Brunswick out to their own 47-yard line. 3:45 left to go in the third quarter. East Brunswick down by a 14-7 score. This is Maritzky.
Looks like he's changing the play.
He has the ball, pitches. Whoa, that was a tough pitch. I don't know. You know what? I think he wanted to pitch it, and then his back was not expecting it. And then when he did, they didn't connect.
Well, that was Jones, the back that just came into the game for East Brunswick, a sophomore, Javon Jones. The relationship between the quarterback and the defensive back, he was a little bit close to Maritzky. Should have been a little wider. Wasn't, as you said, I don't know if he was expecting the ball at that point.
Well, a big loss on
just
the play.
A plain botch play by the Bears, that's all, which hurts them here.
10 yards.
10-yard loss.
So second and 20. Oh, there's another fumbled exchange. It was intended for Alexander, and Bishop Barr on the recovery. Who's got it? Number 74. Looks like he's come up with the ball.
74 is Gary Yetzko.
You mentioned him, Charlie.
Before, yes. He's the offensive center as well. Starting center.
Oh.
That's a big turnover. Bears were absolutely out of sync on that offensive. Both of those last two plays, the pitch and that handoff, and that ball just came popping straight up.
Well, you mentioned both Riccio and Mineta are not in there, so you've got you've got some new faces.
Yeah, Alexander is in there. It hurts when you make the change. It's a little hairy, but we'll see what happens here.
All right, ball on the 30-yard line. The Trojans with a first down off that turnover. There's the pitch to Hamrah.
Whoa.
Gets a nice block there and gets about 8 yards on that play.
That was either a good block or a hold.
Or a hold. It was
one or the other.
Yeah.
Alexander was in on the stop there. Well, he's not getting up so quick this time. Another injury.
Let's see what it is. Well, his helmet's off.
Looks like he's holding his head there somehow. Alexander smacked him pretty good.
All right, they're going to escort Cody Hamrah off the field. I'll tell you what, he's been a workhorse back for them.
It looks like he's all right, though. He's jogging off. So once they come out, you have to come off the field for a play.
A gain of 7 on the play, making it 2nd and 3.
Bears need to get tough here and stop them. Critical time.
All right, who's that in the backfield? Is that Waring?
I can't.
I believe it is.
I think it is. 30.
He's got the ball. 36.
36.
Gets decent yards. I think he has a first down.
It's close to that first down.
Stop was by 68.
68 and 72. Mike McCarty for the Bears. 68 Campbell.
First down for Bishop Barr, and they're knocking on the door once more. Ball up on about the 20-yard line. It may be inside. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. The Trojans with a 14-7 lead. They're looking to add more points. Taylor. Give is to Waring. Nope, they miscommunicate, and the ball was thrown.
That's an illegal touching foul. 61, I believe.
And now they call it.
Well, 61 touched the ball. Patrick Healy, and I'm sure linemen like to touch it once in a while, but they can't touch it on a pass play.
It was a late flag, but I think, Charlie, the official recognized what you saw.
Well, I helped him out. I called it for him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Now there's a discussion about this.
I don't know what the discussion is. He threw the ball and it hit the lineman, and the lineman can't touch the ball. So,
well, the quarterback was actually in the process of being sacked.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes, he was. You're absolutely right. He was in this, but I don't think that's a factor here. I don't know what the discussion could be, but let's see what they say.
This is a long discussion. And that's what the call is. Illegal participation.
Right.
So what's the penalty on this? How many yards?
Well, it's a 10.
Did they lose the down as well?
Maybe he lost it down. I'm trying to find. See, the discussion was whether or not it was over the line of scrimmage. Now, if it's over the line of scrimmage, then that's a different penalty.
I see.
That's illegally downfield. This is illegal touching, so there's two different penalties.
It is wonderful to have an individual in our booth tonight that is so detailed and comprehensive. And you've got it, Charlie. It's.
I've been involved with a lot of penalties. I guess that's what it is.
Now they're still showing first down over there.
So no loss of down.
So there's not a loss of down.
I think if it's downfield the other way, it's across the line of scrimmage, it's a loss of down.
Waring with it. And gets nailed immediately at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle by. That's not Riccio, is it? Number 77 for East Brunswick.
Yeah, 77 on the tackle. Mike Cassini.
Yeah. So No gain on the play. Second and 20. Well, I'm going to say about 23, 24 yards.
Yeah, it is about 23, Jim.
You got to figure they're going to be looking for Mark Poe on this, or Ryan Curran, and they're split to the top of your screen.
One-on-one coverage out there.
Question is, does Taylor get enough time to throw? He's going to go long. Bounces up, was right in Ryan's hands.
I'm going to tell you something. That was a nice defensive play by Schultz. It was in his hands, but he didn't hesitate. When the ball bounced up, sometimes you have a tendency to stop your motion.
Right.
And he didn't, because if he hadn't hit him when he did, he would have caught the rebound.
So with that incompleted pass, makes it 3rd and 23. Under a minute to play in this third quarter. And a big play coming up right here. Taylor lofts it high. It's up for grabs, pal. Bounces around. Does he catch it? No, incomplete.
Mariski back there, and I thought Powell was going to come up with that one, Jim.
Well, I think that, Charlie, I've seen that play a couple of times, and that is really the intention. All Mark Powell wants to do is get out there, and he'll take his chances.
Well, he almost got the rebound, and Mariski, Mariski's a fine athlete, or else he doesn't make that play.
So it's a 4th down.
And they're going to go.
Still 20. No, looks like
they're going to punt with.
Well, look who's the punter, huh?
Well, I guess maybe he's going to punt it this time. That's Hamrah back to see if he's going to fake this one. No, he's going to punt this one. He does.
Let's see what happens. Does it bounce?
It's in the end zone.
Into the end zone. So a touchback. Bring it out to the 20-yard line. And East Brunswick once again makes a stop off that turnover.
Well, they kind of dodged the bullet there, I guess we could say, because Bishop R goes in and scores and goes up 21-7. It's a long uphill battle for the Bears from there.
You have 36 seconds left to go in the third quarter, so after this you got 1 quarter of play. They need to get something going here.
They absolutely do. And that was a great punt by Hamrah there. It hit on about the 3. I thought it was going to stop, but it rolled across the line and into the end zone.
Now, the East Brunswick offense has been out of sync the last couple of times they've had the ball, primarily because Moneta and Riccio are not in. So
that certainly factors.
Maritzky has it, keeps it, gets nailed just about at the line of scrimmage. Waring was in on the tackle.
Yeah.
Gain of, actually, he got some yards on that play.
Well, he got 4 yards, right? Maybe 3, 3 or 4 yards.
And I believe East Brunswick's going to let the clock run down.
Well, they're not going to get a playoff. There's 9 seconds remaining. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for East Brunswick.
And that is the end of the third quarter of play. Bishop R with a 14-7 lead. East Brunswick going to have a 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Ball is on their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, well, we got a second, Jim. Let me just call off some of those offensive linemen that we don't get a chance to recognize very often, but the critical part of the offense. We got at one tackle Brian Campbell. The other is Cameron Arshad, number 54. 72, one of the guards, Mike McCarthy, a captain. 76, Jimmy Correa. And the offensive line is anchored by number 62, Captain Alan Grosshold. So as we know, nothing happens without those guys doing their job. And hopefully they can suck it up here in the fourth quarter and help move this offense.
Okay, a couple of observations here. East Brunswick needs to get something going. They've got 12 minutes left in the game. If you're Bishop R, Charlie, do you maybe play your safeties and cornerbacks a little bit off, expecting the long pass?
I would back up a little bit. Not a whole lot. You know, that prevent defenses prevents you from winning sometimes, especially if you watch the pro game and even some of the college game.
All right, Moneta is back in the game now.
That's nice to see. I think the Bears got to throw the football.
Right.
They really have come up and stopped the run. effectively here since that one touchdown by Robinson.
All right, so Robinson and Manette are the deep backs. You've got Alexander at the fullback. Maritsky's going to throw it. Look at Schultz. He's all by himself. And it's a foot race. Nobody's going to catch him.
Catch him. Not now.
You talk about blown coverage. What
Now,
happened
what did
there?
I say? Did I say the Bears had to pass the ball? They had to throw it? Give me a break. Wow, that's a long one.
And East Brunswick with this extra point can tie it up. First play.
That was from the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
So I would say that's
I didn't know Dwayne could motor like that.
Well, he motored, didn't he?
He certainly did.
That little guy from Bishop Bar is going to catch him, and he just turned on the jets.
Wow. First touchdown reception of Dwayne Schultz's
the Bears
career.
are going to have to use a timeout because they're not ready here. We're missing somebody. Timeout.
I happen to know Dwayne very well. He was a member of our Pop Warner football team in
Is that
Monroe.
right? Oh, wow.
And,
Well, I tell you, I didn't know he was that quick.
Either did I.
Well, I tell you what, he was about 2 yards or 3 yards in front of the defenders, and there were two guys for Bishop Bar after him, and he turned on the jets and just blew them away. Wow.
How many yards on that pass play?
77.
77 yards.
I think it was first 10 from the 23. So.
All right, so they use a timeout here.
Well, because they weren't organized on the extra point. You hate to see that. Somebody didn't go on the field, and maybe it's because of one of the injuries. That happens, and the backup just doesn't get the word that they're supposed to be on the field. So we'll see. The Bears they got to kick this. I mean, I don't see any going for two business at this point. Padraig Bean on for the.
He's going to do the extra point.
Right.
All right, everything has to work well.
Mariski.
Tell me how the snap and hold is, Charlie.
All right. Snap is perfect.
So is the kick.
Perfect, and the kick is, well, if the snap is perfect and the hold is perfect, the kick is going to be perfect.
Okay.
All right.
And we have a tie game.
Padraig Bean.
So here you are with a tie game, and East Brunswick off that play has to have a little bit of momentum on the defense, you think?
Well, it certainly it helps a great deal. They were not moving the ball on the ground, and it was, I think both of us were sitting here saying, are they going to open this thing up, and when are they going to open it up on their own 23? That was my only question, and of course they did. And
how was Dwayne Schultz opened?
He was 10 yards behind everybody else.
Really?
Now, see, what happens, and it happened to East Brunswick. East Brunswick's playing the pass, and the Bishop Bar's been running the ball all over the place tonight. And I think just the opposite happened to Bishop Bar right there. They're looking for a 23-yard line. The Bears aren't going to take a chance. They don't want to turn the ball over, so they're going to run the ball, and we're going to be up here to stop them. And they just forgot about Mariski to Schultz for 77 yards.
So you got Fessel now kicking off for East Brunswick. You had Bean last time. And Hamra and Poe will be your deep backs.
Fessel kicks it deep.
That's
Hamra.
Cody Hamra. Cuts to the middle of the field. He's got some blockers. Still on his feet. Cuts to the outside. He's past midfield, and a nice run back by Cody Hamra. And maybe that's the reason why you don't kick deep.
I knew you were going to say that. But, that's true, and that's Rob Biella, correction, that's number 2, Jones, who made a nice saving touch. He saved the touchdown there, probably. Number 2.
Well, Bishop Bar has had the ball twice in excellent field position, one off a turnover, this off a kickoff. Now, they have not been successful.
Well, they got great field position inside East Brunswick's territory at the 46-yard line.
11:36 left to go in the game. We're tied, 14-all. And the crowd starts to get into the game.
Motion.
Give is to Hammer up the middle. Gets maybe a yard. Nice stop there by the defense.
Initial stop was by number 84, Assini.
And 68 as well, Charlie.
And Horace Aaron, right, 84.
Well, let's call it a 2-yard gain on that play, making it 2nd and 8.
At the East Brunswick 44. Big series of downs right here. And as we said at the opening, this game is important for both teams.
Poe and Austin at the bottom of the screen, split wide. Give is up the middle, however, to Hamrock. Gets tripped up initially by number 72, that was.
The initial, that's Mike McCarty, number 72 on the initial, actually tripped him up and was put down by, looked like Ayala.
And maybe Hamrock gets a yard, so it's a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8.
This is Taylor at quarterback. He's been in there all the way. Poe is in motion. And he's with the ball now. Cuts inside. He's ahead of the field. And a saving tackle by Robinson. Boy, it wasn't fancy, was it, Charlie? Just a motion call and gives the ball to Mark Powell.
And Schultz was hollering and motioning for East Brunswick to adjust to that side. And nobody moved except Schultz, who had Poe on this side of the field. When he went in motion, East Brunswick did not adjust to that, and he just blew it by him. He's quick.
So a 1st down on the 20-yard line. Bishop R knocking on the door one more time. Give is the hammer. No, Taylor elects to keep it. He's got a little bit of room on the right side here. Gets hammered.
Schultz.
And also number 1.
Maritsky.
Only ends up getting maybe 5-6 yards on that play.
Right, he's inside about the 14-yard line.
Bishop R spreading the field as much as it can.
Taylor's got good quickness there. I thought that he was going to have some problem getting around that end, but he just turned it on, and Schultz made a saving tackle.
Under 9 minutes to play in this game. It is 14-all between East Brunswick and Bishop R. However, the Trojans are knocking on the door.
Motion.
Pitch is to Hamrah. He's got some blockers. No. Good tackle there.
Number 1.
Loses about 5 on that play, so that was a big loss.
That was a big play. A lot of help there from East Brunswick from Sean O'Keefe also, 98, so big play for the Bears.
Charlie, when I hear big play, I think of 2 people, Cody Hamrah and Mark Powell. So you got to wonder
if
they're
to the left, right?
So if I'm East Brunswick, I'm focusing on those 2 players. Flag. We got a flag. Let's see what this is about.
Got to be a motion on the Don Bishop R.
That's what it is.
Procedure penalty.
One of those linemen. That's one of the first.
They haven't had many. There haven't been many penalties. There's a couple of holes that were critical, but there haven't been a whole lot of penalties.
So that backs Bishop R up to about their 24-yard line.
And I'm usually on the officials a little bit, but this crew seems to be doing an outstanding job.
So you have 3 receivers to the right here. Demeter is the lone back. Taylor is going to throw. He's rushed and caught.
That's Campbell.
You know, that East Brunswick defensive line has been doing a great job all evening. There's a flag. What do we got here?
It's going to be against East Brunswick.
Oh, can't be. Cannot be.
Slammed him down, I think. I don't think he did, but
the tackle was made. The whistle was blown. And then a flag comes.
I don't know what the call is. Uh,
You think there was a taunting? You think it was taunting
It was
going
after
on?
the play. I didn't see anything. We're too far away to really get any. Boy, that is.
It's a crush. It's an unsportsmanlike. It's got to be taunting.
Yep. Well, he was happy that he sacked him, and that's Now here I just got finished saying what a good crew this has been. I think that's
It's a very unfortunate call. Let's put it that way. And it is a judgment on the official to either to warn the player, don't do that, or throw a flag, and he chose the latter.
I think that's Bush.
Now, it's not an automatic first down. Is it fourth or third?
Fourth. That was a.
Boy, what do you do here? You're kind of close in field goal range.
I'm going to tell you, if I have a field goal kicker, I'm going to kick it. But I don't know. They don't seem to be. They're huddling up back here at the 40-yard line, so they'll probably be tired out by the time they get to the line of scrimmage. Timeout, Bishop R.
Okay. All right, Charlie, what do we do here? The ball is on the about the 10-yard line, so back it up. This would be if they do go for a field goal, it would be a 26-yard attempt.
Actually, that's the 15, I think.
I
was just when you said that, about the
okay,
14.
You're right.
The 14-yard line. So we're talking about 14 and 10, 24 and 7. We're talking about a 31-yard field goal. Maybe a little bit too much. I don't know what kind of kicker they have. I shouldn't say that. But if I have a kicker, I have to kick the ball, because if the field goal is good, puts them up by 3. You almost have to take the points, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. There's another East Brunswick player.
That's number 77.
Right.
Being examined on the sidelines.
That's Mike Cassinia.
All right. Is this a big play or what? 4th and 4. They're not going to go for the field goal. Again, I'm watching Poe and Hamrah.
Poe is 13, wide to the left.
They got room on the right side here if they want. Taylor, though, goes to the left. He's going to throw it. Looks over the middle and incomplete. So
big stop on the part of the Bears. Well, he's getting
Brunswick.
A little bit of pressure, Jim, but not a whole lot. He had a receiver and threw behind him. Number 3, Frank Samello, in on the defense for East Brunswick.
Now, I don't know who that penalty was on, but I have to believe whoever it was is breathing a real sigh of relief right now.
I would be. I think I know who it was on, actually,
okay.
But we're not going to say.
All righty.
But it was an outstanding play. I mean, went in and put the quarterback down. I don't know. We can't hear. I mean, he might have said something. Obviously, we can't hear from up here.
7:04 left to go in the game. Regulation time, we should say.
Well, overtime is a possibility.
Alexander in the backfield, and that looks to be Robinson as the deep back. Maritsky gives to Robinson. Doesn't get too many yards on it.
What do you think about the pass here, Jim? As wide open as Schultz is, I got to go back to that, don't I?
Absolutely.
I mean, fake that thing and like you did the last time and put it up here for Schultz. Just the only thing you have to tell them is throw it long enough so that they can't intercept it. That's all. Don't throw it short.
Gain of maybe 1 on the play, making it 2nd and 9. Clock continues to roll. Now under 6:30 left to go. We're all tied up, 14-14. East Brunswick and Bishop are. A win here, and East Brunswick could find itself in a playoff situation. Robinson almost breaks it.
Close.
That was the play that he scored that touchdown on.
A little bit of
first quarter.
A little counter action. Yeah, it wasn't quite as. That was 36 wearing on the stop for Bishop R.
A gain of 6 on the play, we'll say, making it 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 with 5.
Another big play.
Another big play.
Yeah. If East Brunswick makes it, the drive continues. If Bishop R stops them, East Brunswick will have to kick deep in its own territory.
All right, what's the call?
That's a good question. Well, should we keep our eyes on Mr. Schultz there on the right?
I would keep my eyes on Mr. Schultz. Full house backfield.
Maritsky gives it, keeps it himself. And, a nice tackle by Demeter, short of the first down.
Looks like he's about short by, about a half a yard.
Actually, it's more than that. Well, let's see, Charlie.
Not much. That's awful close.
Apparently not close enough to measure.
Well, why don't you can ask for him. I believe that you can ask for a measurement, but the officials have already indicated that it's not far enough. The
And
Bears
East
have got to
Brunswick
kick.
is in punt formation, where they're going to be in punt formation. File has come into the game.
25.
Needless to say, the
Bears
snap
seemed
is
a
going to
little
be important here.
Look at this. The Bears. Oh, okay, they have enough.
I was going to say that the snap is going to be real crucial here. Good one. File, plenty of time, gets off a kick, a wobbly kick, fielded by Poe. He dances, and East Brunswick's on top of him.
He danced one too many times there. He got
finally brought down
by a host of tacklers by the Bears there. I'm trying to see who gets off the pile there. Number 2, Jones is in there on that tackle.
Got to tell you, Charlie, Fessel gave him a little push after that.
I think he just
right into the ground.
Oh, he just tripped. That's why they didn't do anything. I think they were just piling up there, and no harm, no foul.
All right, here's the situation. 4:23 remaining in the regulation time here. 14-all is the score. Bishop R with the ball on East Brunswick's 46-yard line. We got to mention it. Mark Poe is the lone receiver on the bottom of your screen.
With Schultz out here.
Taylor is going to loft it. Here we go. And it was a timing pattern that just did not connect. Good job by Dwayne Schultz covering that play.
The only thing I would say about to Dwayne Schultz is, I wouldn't want to be in his position. That is a very difficult spot he's in. He's got to look for that ball just a little bit quicker than that. If that pass had been a yard or half a yard shorter, Powell is off into the end zone possibly. But good defense. He was right there.
Falls incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10.
That's a tough place to be out here with this guy that can fly.
And now you have 3.
3 wides to the right.
Yep.
One-on-one coverage from the Bears.
Taylor quickly back deep.
Looking screen.
In a screen. That's Camera, but they had him covered.
I think that's number 9, Jim.
Is it number 9?
I think so. Austin.
Okay.
Well, maybe I am wrong.
Let's see.
No, he doesn't walk like Cameron.
Nonetheless, a good play, defensive play by East Brunswick.
It's Austin. Stopped by Campbell for the Bears.
Making it 3rd and 13. 3:48 left to go in the the 4th quarter of play.
All right. Here's your man over here, Powell.
Taylor going to pass. Looks down the pipe and
short of the first down.
That was Kieran that caught that, and you're right. He's short by about 3 yards. So that it's going to make a 4th down.
Maybe 2 yards. 2, 3, 2.5. You're right on the money there.
And
what do you do here?
We've been saying big play, big play, big play.
There have been many big plays in this game because, 14-14. It's important to both teams to win this game.
I know who I'm giving the ball to.
Yeah, I do too. I think
number 2,
the tailback back there, Hamron gets the ball.
East Brunswick, however, is packing the line.
Alexander up in there. It's going to roll out.
It's going to keep it. Cuts in, gets his first down.
23, Robinson on the tackle.
You know, that was a sophomore that ran that ball.
Yeah, it was a good fake.
Credit.
He faked the draw and then just kept the ball and went around that left side.
Okay, so again, Bishop R knocking on the door. The ball's resting on the 34-yard line.
Right inside the 35.
2:29 left to go in the game. A first down for the Trojans. Give us the hammer up the middle. He squeaks through one tackle, breaks another, gets good yardage. I think he might have another first down.
Stopped by O'Keefe, 98.
We're exactly at the 2-minute mark.
Along with Robinson, looks just short of that first down.
Clock continues to run.
Second and about. This is.
Now, I know Bishop Bar used one timeout
Yes, they
when
did.
they were
So
considering
have
whether
two.
they have a
They
field
have
goal.
two.
They have 2 left.
The Bears had to use the timeout on the extra point down here.
All right, second and about just about a half a yard to go. Give is to Demeter. He gets the first down. Ball is on about the 22-yard line. The clock will stop momentarily.
Stopped by Alexander and also 72 McCarthy on that stop for the Bears. First down. Clock is back in.
Here we go. Minute 24.
They really have plenty of time with 2 timeouts. But
Taylor calling signals.
well, a great time to pass. The Bears are up tight.
He's with the ball. He's going to throw it. Looks downfield. And
Over
a
the-
little over the outstretched hands
Looks
of,
like
was Taylor, was it?
or
Austin?
Austin.
Austin.
I think Austin.
All right, 1 minute and 2 seconds left to go.
Well.
Second and 10.
Thank goodness for the Bears it was over his head. Because he certainly was open back there. Bears have got to put some pressure on.
That's the key.
Taylor.
He's getting too much time to throw.
Right there, he had all day to throw the ball, and he rolled out a little bit to his left, being a left-handed quarterback, as we said at the opening. It makes it a little different.
Draw play. Hamrah. They were ready for it.
Stopped by Robinson, along with 72 McCarthy for the Bears.
Give him 2 to 3 yards on that play. Ball's on the 20-yard line. Clock continues to roll. 40 seconds.
Well, they're not going to use those timeouts, are they?
They have 2. Here we go. Taylor.
Pass play.
There's a loft pass intercepted.
The Bears got it. The big guy.
Number 68.
Campbell. Brian Campbell on the interception.
Wow.
I was looking for the big guy to take it all away. Wow. I don't see.
Well, Taylor was looking to loft a pass over top of, but
Right, he was going to try to get that little, almost like that little screen pass they were working on, but he threw it right to Brian Campbell. And is that the play for an offensive and a defense? The offensive tackle, and he plays defensive end.
There you go.
Oh man, I thought he was going to rumble and bumble into the end zone, but big play for the Bears.
All right, 21 seconds
now
left to go in the regulation.
Now what do you do? Another big play here, Jim. The Bears got what? 2 timeouts, 21 seconds, and 57 yards to go.
Well, we've already seen Schultz get behind the defense. Let's see if they try again.
Schultz is over here. Bishop Bar is a little disorganized
They do look,
defensively.
don't they?
Yeah.
They look a little disorganized. Here's a reverse to Robinson. He's got a little. Nope, they cover it up. Boy, they covered that nicely.
Hold on to it.
And the clock continues to roll. Are they going to stop it? Meanwhile, Demeter is limping off the field on the other side.
34.
He's down.
And he's down. Injury
right.
timeout.
That's
The
an
Bears
injury
took a
timeout.
timeout. Well, I guess they're going to charge the timeout as well. But
all that.
he looked like he was. Demeter looked like he was trying to get off the field, and all of a sudden just went down. So I don't know. I hope he's all right.
He's up.
Okay, that's good to see.
All right, so we have a timeout on the field.
He's a tough player too. Well, East Brunswick called a timeout, but then went back out again. So they got plenty of time here. 8 seconds to go.
Plenty of time, you say?
Yeah, I mean you got to put the ball up in the air. You know,
Well, that's for
all.
sure.
You know, you got to throw it down the field. You got Schultz and you got Danny Fessel, 2 young receivers.
Interesting game.
Interesting game.
We're not going to talk about overtime until overtime occurs, but
That's the other thing, though. I mean, you don't really want to do anything to hurt yourself here
Sure.
with only 8 seconds left. You want to take your chance in overtime. Bears got a pretty good kicker. Bishop Bar hasn't shown that they want to kick the ball. They had a chance down here, I thought, to
right.
go up 17-14 if they could have made a field goal. But
So 8 seconds left to go in regulation time.
We'll see what Coach Borden does. You certainly don't want to throw an interception.
I say nothing fancy here.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Looks like that's the way they're lining.
No.
No.
Maritzky's going to throw. We got a blitz. Look out.
Hold on.
Still
to the
with
ball.
it. And Bishop R was well armed.
That's the end of the game. We're going to overtime.
Well, it's not the end of the game.
Well, it's the end of regulation.
There you go.
Regulation game.
All right, each team's going to go off to the sidelines. And Charlie, I have to tell you, I know what college overtime is all about. High school's similar. Do they start at each 20? Did each team get the ball?
25-yard line.
25-yard line.
25-yard line. Each team gets a chance for the ball. They'll go to the middle of the field, flip the coin. Whoever wins the toss will have a choice. And
if you were the coach, which
defense.
You want to go defense first?
Because I want to know what I have to do on offense.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So you really want to be on defense first. So then you run, you can get a first down, touchdown, kick a field goal, whatever, same situation. And then if you score or you do not score, the other team gets an opportunity to score from the same situation from the 25-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Sometimes it comes down to who has a field goal kicker also. But
good point.
They'll have a toss, and the captains will go out to the center of the field. They get 5 minutes. They're supposed to have 5 minutes. There's no time running when the ball is placed at the 25. The clock is off.
And do you know how many timeouts each team gets?
Each team gets one timeout.
One timeout.
One timeout each overtime.
Okay.
We might.
And if I remember correctly, there's only a maximum of 3 overtimes, or else a game ends in a tie.
I believe it is. In college, it's not, because I watched Tennessee and Arkansas play 6 overtimes 2 weeks ago, and they just keep going until something happens. But I think in high school there is a
yeah, because one of the local teams, Spotswood, has a 3-1-1 record, so I know that they did end it in a tie.
Yeah, and you can understand that. I mean, these young men have been out on the field here for a full game.
Sure.
Some of them playing both ways, and now you're going to put them through, who knows, possibly 3 overtime periods. 3 on offense and 3 on the defensive side.
You have to say, Charlie, these teams have battled each other pretty much on even keel here.
Well, I think they're even teams. The scoreboard certainly tells us that they're even. It's 14-14.
East Brunswick is clapping its hands, so it looks like they've won the toss. And
definitely
you imagine they're going to play. They're going to go on deep.
No question about it. Coach Borden was really responsible for this coming to high school.
Yes, I remember.
He was very instrumental in getting the state to think about this, and football coaches of the state accepted it, and eventually it was adopted. I think it makes sense.
All right, so
it's much better than the pro rule. I mean, the pro rule that we know of is the team kicks off and you may not get the ball at all. And this way, at least everybody has a fair opportunity to put it in the end zone or to put some points up on the board.
So we will move to the right side of your screen.
See, the ball will be at the 25, and the Bears and whoever Bishop R can get, they can get a first down. And as a matter of fact, they can get a couple of first downs. But, yep, East Brunswick's going to be on defense.
Trojans will begin on the 25-yard line. And it'll be
at the closed
they
end.
Can get a first down, too.
It's interesting that they went to the closed end of the field also.
Why would you say that?
Well, I think because of the wind. We can't tell how much wind there's down there right now, but it looks pretty limp.
Pretty limp.
Yeah. Well, this end zone down by the flag, we were talking before, the sun gets in your eyes down there.
Yeah, right.
So,
all right. 1st and 10 on the 25 for Bishop R. We are in overtime. Justin Taylor gives the ball to Cody Hamra, and he is met at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, oh boy, blow that whistle. That was 72. Mike McCarty, I think, had the initial tackle. He had around his leg there, and O'Keefe and Aaron Horace came in and finished it off.
Charlie, you mentioned the clock's not running, but they do keep a 25-second clock down on the field.
Right, you have to put the ball in play in 25 seconds. That's right. It's the only time that's kept.
2nd and 10 for Bishop Bar. Boy, it seems like ages ago that East Brunswick had the ball, other than that little sequence there after the interception.
It does. Motion by Powell. You know, they ran that. There it goes.
Oh, there's that play to Powell. He tries to get to the outside, but East Brunswick looks like they have it covered.
They did. Nice play by Campbell, who had the interception. Came up and forced it wide. He had to go back around.
I'm looking at Demeter, number 34, he still doesn't look
No,
right.
he doesn't look right. And nice play there by Alexander, 44, who eventually made the tackle. The initial play was broken up by Campbell, who forced him extremely wide and back into the backfield.
And a loss brings it 3rd and 13.
This is a big, well, here's another big play.
We've had a number of them tonight. Pitch is to Hamrah. Looks like an option. And open and dropped.
O'Keefe back on the defense for the Bears, but that was in the hands of
Number 9.
Austin.
Wow.
And Jim just bounced up, and as soon as the ball bounced up, he was hit by O'Keefe, and ball fell to the ground.
If you're Bishop Bar, you couldn't ask for a better situation.
Ooh, run that option.
All
Now
right.
what else? Now, can you tell me what else Hammer can do tonight? He's run the ball exceptionally well. He's passed the ball. He's punted the ball.
Fake punted.
Fake punted. Yeah. He's done a little bit of everything. Well, it's a big 4th down here now.
Absolutely. 4th and 13.
Boy, I tell you what, the Bears got to put about, well, they got enough people back, I guess.
All right, here we go.
I don't think Demert is ready to run the football. Back to pass.
Lofts it again. Up in the air. They're battling for it. Great defensive play by Varitsky. And East Brunswick denies Bishop Bar, and now they will get a chance.
And that was to the other Austin, Fred Austin, number 7. But Mariski, nice play.
All right, Charlie, let me ask you this.
Okay.
East Brunswick, all they need is to score a point, right?
That's all.
So a field goal to win the game.
Absolutely.
Okay, so East Brunswick now gets the ball.
That's why you go on defense first. If they had scored, then East Brunswick has got, and they went for 1 or 2, then East Brunswick's got to come back and match them.
Boy, I have to feel that East Brunswick is
Well,
feeling really, really good about themselves. Maybe they'll carry over offensively.
They got to gain some yards here, so because that's 25 and 7, 32-yard field goal from here.
All right, East Brunswick. Maritzky, pitch back. They're going to option pass. Schultz is open. Touchdown! East Brunswick wins
it in overtime. The Bears win. The Bears win. 500, 3-3.
All right.
Oh,
And
they're excited. Isn't that great?
And look at Bishop Bar down on their knees. A great win for East Brunswick. Boy, the option pass really did the trick, didn't it?
Sure did.
And the final score, East Brunswick 20 and Bishop Bar 14. That pass play. Who threw that option pass, Charlie? I didn't even get it. I'm sorry, I don't know who threw the option pass. That was Bobby
Mineta.
Thank you, Coach.
Bobby Mineta, who was hurt, had to leave the game.
Absolutely.
Comes back and throws the winning touchdown to Dwayne Schultz.
All right.
All right, is right.
All right,
That's great.
All right, now let's talk about this victory right here. 20-14. East Brunswick now with a 3-3 record. They get a bunch of power points, beating this team that was 2-2. So they could possibly move up into that top 8.
They could, and they're off this coming week.
Okay.
They haven't opened, so hopefully they can get those injuries healed up. Mineta, although he's not injured that bad.
Yeah. Charlie, you know what I think is very important? East Brunswick now with this win, evening its record at 3-3, puts itself in a position where South Brunswick is a good team. They beat J.P. Stevens last week.
Tonight, they have Saraville or somebody, and it was a one touchdown. They said it was going to be close.
Point I'm trying to make is even if East Brunswick doesn't win that game, they may still now be
They
in a
may
position by beating Perth Amboy.
You're right.
So, all in all, a very significant victory tonight. A lot of fireworks. And I guess that last play was the biggest play of all, wasn't it?
Well, isn't that great? I mean,
Yeah.
you watch Bishop R, and they had a chance to win it, and they had the same play. They threw the halfback pass, and the ball was bobbled, and Art O'Keefe or whoever stuck him down there, and the ball came up Mariski, I guess it was. And the Bears turn right around and do exactly the same thing. Mineta to Schultz for the touchdown.
And I also think of a lot of the tough losses that East Brunswick has absorbed these last couple seasons, and this one goes a little ways towards making up for it.
This one's a sweet one, and the Bears deserve a good break. They've certainly we've had a chance to see 3 of these games, 4 games now, I guess, and I know you've seen a couple of other ones as well. And the Bears deserve a lot of credit, Jim. After they got beat on opening night by Piscataway, and we saw Saraville beat them up a little bit, boy, they come back strong and with a lot of spirit. So
okay, that's going to do it, Charlie. I hate to cut you off here, but
no, I just want to salute Coach Borden.
I'm about to get fired.
I know Coach Borden and his coaches did a great job here getting these guys ready to go.
Okay, that's it. So we're going to dispense with the scoring summary and just tell you that East Brunswick wins this game 20-14 over Bishop R in overtime. For Charlie King, this is Jimmy Allinder saying thanks for being with us.